Today I want to talk to you about the importance of having in-person contact with other people, getting together in person with others. In the recent years, between the pandemic, which forced all of us to isolate at some point for a specific period of time, to the ever-increasing availability of technology, we have had less and less in-person interactions with one another. And even now that the pandemic is over and we are free to get together in person, our technology is such that it can make it a lot easier to connect with one another via technology, to connect virtually rather than get together. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for technology. Technology can be great. It can allow us to connect when we otherwise may not have the time or the means to connect. Think about before the time of the telephone, before the telephone was invented, people were so much more limited in reaching one another. Regular people, everyday people, they had to either write letters and wait for the exchange of letters, or maybe they had to travel, and if the distances were great, it was difficult and it was expensive and it was inconvenient and it was impractical. But once the telephone became available, we could pick up the phone and call a friend or a family member, or maybe conduct business that otherwise would have been difficult or impossible to conduct, all thanks to this then new technology of the telephone. So as technology has progressed, we have been able to connect with one another in ways that maybe we weren't able to do before. And as I already mentioned, when the pandemic became part of our reality, we relied on technology quite heavily in order to reach out to one another when we were otherwise forced to isolate. But the pandemic is over. Unfortunately, we've developed some habits of relying solely on technology and less on in-person contact. Well, the reason why I bring this up is because in-person contact is very important to us as a species. We need to be with one another. We need to be around one another. And I get it that some people are more of a social butterfly than another person. They are more likely and more inclined to spend time with other people. Other people prefer a little more solitude in their life, and that's okay. What I'm getting at here is that we must not allow technology to replace our in-person experiences with one another simply because we don't want to make the effort to go get together with someone, to go see someone in person, or because we allow technology to enable our laziness or our lack of motivation, or because we allow technology to dictate how we connect with one another and how we communicate with one another. Getting together with people in person, especially people whose company you enjoy, that's the biggest part here. People whose company you enjoy, people you care about, people you value, is good for us. It's good for our health. It's good for our physical health. It's good for our mental health. And it makes us more resilient to the effects of stress. And since this channel is largely about stress and managing stress effectively, this is why it's so important to remind everybody to put down their phones and get together with someone, and make a point of varying the people with whom you get together. Don't get stuck in only seeing one or two other people, maybe the people you work with or maybe someone you live with. Make a point of varying it up and seeing your different friends, seeing your acquaintances, seeing your different family members in person on a regular basis. It doesn't mean every day, but make a point of having those in-person experiences more rather than less. It's so easy to get caught up in technology. It's so easy to get lazy. It's so easy to get complacent. It's so easy to use our busy schedule as an excuse. But you know what? Before all this technology was available, people were still busy, people were still tired, people still had responsibilities and lives, and yet if we wanted to connect with family or friends, we had to get it together, get out of the house and go meet them or have them over or go over to their house. So today I want you to think about that, because it's so easy to get caught up in this technological perk or technological advantage of not having to go anywhere and yet being to connect virtually. But don't get stuck in that. Understand the importance of humans as social beings actually having the need to be in proximity, to be with one another, to get together, to talk in person, to share experiences, to exchange ideas, and allow that to benefit us, to benefit our health, our physical, mental health, our emotional health, to allow us to better handle stress, to better manage stress. You can even consider things such as getting together with other people in large groups, maybe concerts or sporting events. It doesn't have to be limited solely to people you know. It could be a large group of strangers, but getting together with others, maybe a book club or whatever the case may be, bigger or smaller groups. But now we're looking at groups who have a common interest, who have something in common, who are sharing an experience, who are having a discussion on a similar topic or on the same topic. Again, getting together, it could be with a group of strangers that you share something with them. But there you are together in proximity, and that's good for us. We don't want to isolate. The pandemic is over. We cannot get stuck in that habit of solely connecting virtually. So you want to experience one another's presence as much as possible. So today, I want you to think about how much time are you spending with other people, with people whose company you enjoy, with people with whom you are sharing an experience or a conversation or a discussion, or you have something in common. Make a point of doing that. If it's only once a week, that's better than nothing. That's not to say you forsake technology altogether, of course not. But don't let the virtual experience take over your in-person experience, because there are wonderful benefits, things that we need as a species, of getting together and being with one another and experiencing one another in person. So go meet a friend or a family member or go to some event and be with other people. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the link below.